Aloha and welcome, spiritual, tuning in to Ask Carol. This is a grand opportunity to ask your questions, to grasp your clarity on your life journey during this great shift in consciousness. Kahu Fred Sterling has been a conscious and committed spiritual seeker since 1986. Back then, he did not have any aspirations of being a spiritual seeker or a medium. He even didn't know what that meant, but it came automatically to him. But we're not all that way. Since then, his passion for healing has grown exponentially. Today is Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. The Lemurian numerology for today is 2. And according to Master Kiro, a 2-day, I'm getting it from this Kiro Volume 2, the Genesis Matrix. A 2-day reminds us to be aware that yin and yang situation are all around us. On this day, it is best to take a look at where we are in life and move our thoughts into a higher Trinity level of understanding. So that is our 2 days. So, and the photon energy supports us, our journey today. It is 5. It is the good reason for being. We as spiritual seekers in truth are looking to age our soul through healing by opening ourselves to expand our consciousness and peek into the 4th dimension. Spiritual seekers know that self-love is the key. Kiro.com, SignatureCellHealing.com, and HonoluluChurchOfLight.com are all dedicated to the journey of healing our 4 bodies: the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, during this great shift in consciousness. This program is to rethink and advance our human consciousness, beginning at the personal level. Another reason why Kahu is here today. I am Patty Athena Sterling, co-host for today. Please take a deep prana breath and help me welcome the passionate Kahu Fred Sterling. Welcome, Kahu.
God bless you and thank you.
Yes.
What a journey this has been, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a little anniversary of sorts. Went to dinner and celebrated my 10th year since my stroke.
Anniversary, yes.
And it was a good journey, but we had time to reflect and take a look at a lot of things we're doing right now. And this is what we're talking about right now today. We'll always be healers. We know this because when I came out of this radical jobs that I had in the past, it was become a healer. I didn't even know what a healer was, but I had to become one because
or a medium. You didn't really know what a medium was.
That's true. That's true.
But you were there automatically, and you accepted that process, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So, yesterday we celebrated the 10 years. I called it. It's 10 years old.
10 years old. And you know, that might not, anybody that has never had a near-death experience, but it really was a near-death experience. I always make fun about it because it's what I like to do, because if I get all the dramas involved in this whole process, then I watch her cry and everybody's crying, and it doesn't make sense. But I can tell you, my whole world fell apart that very moment when I went down. And it was the first day, and the second day, the third day, and then the third day I got up and walked out of the hospital. And I think I like the most, probably one of the most things, a friend of mine called me, ran into me a couple months or a couple of years later, and said, "Yeah, I heard you had a little tiny stroke." And I said, "No, not really, kind of." "Oh, that's what I heard. That's the key." But I can tell you it was a major stroke because I did it, so I know it. So we've really committed our lives, Patty, Gail, myself, and the people that come to the church, and they're committed to do this thing on healing. So we have right now is an opportunity for you to call and ask your questions. Patty's got a couple of shares to do, and but that's the key. You've got to be involved. You've got the thing set up right here. You can raise your hand, and you can write it here. You go to google.com or whatever, the Google chat rooms or whatever. Google chat room.
It's our way of talking to them on there.
Right. Okay. Anyway.
If they need a Gmail.
Yeah. You obviously have a Gmail account, but that's all right. If you really want to, because I can see right over here, over there, but it's beautiful because I can talk to you in love and light. Anyways.
So this program, we lovingly call it Ask Carol. Actually, Ask Kahu. Actually, it was my thought that this came to be because, you know, what every month we ask that you send us your healing requests, and then I thought this would be an opportunity to ask questions about, you know, some of the questions people ask is, why am I not healing?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh my gosh, give these people an opportunity, because it's healing that we do for especially the spiritual seekers. It's not about, you know, healing on the head and you're healed, because it's all about.
See, she can say that. I can't say it.
No,
I understand.
I think we started your healing journey. I thought that was it, you know, like Master Jesus. Master Jesus put his hands on the crown of the person and all the ailments disappear. But this is a different time, right? I thought, oh shucks, then I have to do my own journey. Yes, we all have to do our own journey, but Kahu here, he is, I think, the image of a guy that did his journey for 10 years, and he never gave up. He used the process of what we call signature cell healing, and it's always evolving. You know, nothing stays the same. We put the basic of signature cell healing in the book, but I'm really excited when it's time to bring forth a new level of signature cell healing. And it's about healing the self first, while learning to heal the self first while you heal others. That's the next phase of our signature cell healing class coming next year. But you've learned a lot from your healing journey, right?
Yeah.
Today. Yeah. Have you ever given up that says, oh, you know, I cannot heal anymore?
You know, someone said to me a couple of days ago, maybe as much as soon as yesterday, somebody said to me, what is it going to do for the program? I can tell you what to do. Without the speech impediments that I've got to come in here and do this whole process. But I can tell you, one of the things we're talking about today is signature cell healing. 70 trillion cells in the body. And I have no idea how many people are listening out there, but I can tell you this thing. If you're listening, you got to understand that that's the key. That's the whole process right there. It's not about slapping on the head or the actual finger placements. They're perfect the way we've got it done right now. But like I talked to somebody today, and she's not listening or not, but we tried to call her before the program, and she didn't answer her phone. But I was talking to my friend, and I asked her, I told her something that we're planning out of the signature cell healing coming up in January. And that's the training program, right?
Right.
And I talk about, which is called the remapping the brain. That's all I said is remapping the brain. And she went, oh, my eyes got burning and my head felt light. And that's just because I said remapping the brain. But understand the cells are to me completely. You got to look and see. Oh, nice color shirt, but I don't like the scarf thing, blah blah blah. But you know what? Your cells don't listen to any of that stuff. They're listening to everything I'm saying. So I take you in this room over there and I remap your brain. And what I'm talking about is remapping your brain. And this just 5,000 miles away today, just saying the word to her, and she said, "Oh my God!" So
she even reacted.
She did react.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And I wasn't no picture or anything. I don't know if I was. I think I was on the internet or something. Yeah, I was on the internet, and I said remapping the brain, and she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. My eyes are burning, and my brain is getting lighter." And she was saying blue, and it was beautiful. And I can tell you that amazes me, because when I'm talking about 70 trillion cells in the body, if you're talking with me, and this, I'm not trying to make myself any big shot or anything, because I'm not. But understand this thing: you're talking to me, and you're talking about what you want to do to heal. My 70 trillion cells, talking to your 70 trillion cells, and they get involved in it. You just your heart your healing starts right on the spot. So what I said to this person last night, and I said to him, I said, "What if I'm going to die?" We're all gonna die. We know that. Plan on dying right away. So, but what I'm trying to say to you, you don't have to be. It doesn't have to be me. Signature cell healing is for everybody. I'm going to be a little better than you are. I'm sorry, but that may sound cold, calloused, or whatever. But I've been doing it for a very long time. And I lay my hands on top of your head and inside your heads and so on and so forth. But I can tell you, the 70 trillion cells are going to act, and they're going to react to me right there.
Why?
And because it's always about healing.
It's always also.
All what?
Also, I have to say this about you,
Mm-hmm.
Kahu, is like, you know the depth, the kind of love that heals.
That's right.
And, the depths that it takes, that love, that I don't, I can't, there's no words.
See,
There's no words.
There's no words for it.
That love. So we all, okay, I can say, you always at the program, you, Kahu, and Master Carol say, this program is always about helping us to age our soul.
That's right.
And I'm thinking aging our soul is really about, deepening our love.
That's true. That's true. Very, very beautifully put.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
The kind of love that heals.
But now it's not about love between a guy and a girl.
No, of course.
Love her, don't love her, whatever. It's not about that. Love. I have a deep understanding of love, and I cannot focus my brain enough to say it all here. But I can tell you this thing: love is the most important journey. We talk about the God Creator, the Creator Force. Which, if you're going to hear my prayers, you come to church services that I do every couple times a couple of weeks. You always hear me talk about the Creator. I'm going to pray to the Creator God. And the Creator God to me is this infinite energy which we all came from. And it's broken down and down and down until you get to the point, this is human physical body, that's 70 trillion cells.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the most empowering thing right there.
The 70, it's all signature cell healing is lighting up, providing light to the 70 trillion cells. Because
so when I'm going to heal you, usually we do it at home, right? And I can tell when you're into this process or not in this process. Doesn't make any difference to me. Understand this, and because if you come in for a healing and you lay down in the bed in there and you're checking what I'm going to do and da-da-da-da-da, and you're checking everything out, you're not going to get as healed as if you just relaxed and came into love. You come into love right there, like this lady I was talking to this morning. I tell you, she must have caught the love because it came to the whole system, to the internet, and she was feeling it right there.
Right.
It's so empowering.
So I want to, this past Sunday was our Long Distance Healing Sunday. And this is Long Distance Healing Sunday. We dedicate our healing for those people that send in their requests. And I want to share with everyone this testimonial. I say this is a testimonial.
I'd say it's
Her name is Selma, and she's from Turkey, and she writes. Let's see.
right from the top.
Let's see. I write. She said, "Dear Kahu Fred Sterling, I write you from Turkey, and it's really unbelievable that I found your live video conference with a one-day local time difference while writing you the email. When I first saw there was a live video conference in Hawaii, I was sure that I missed the conference, but I signed in and joined the healing. It was like a miracle. My father had a stroke 8 days ago, and his main vein is blocked in the brain, and there is also bleeding on the right lobe. I was reading your book for 2 days. It is another miracle. How to treat people, and everybody was how to treat people, and everybody was very healthy. I'm sorry. Let's do this again. I was reading your book, and it's another miracle. How to treat people, and everybody was very healthy at the same time. And I asked myself, why am I reading a healing book while everybody around me is so healthy? And now I got the answer. First of all, for my own dad, and then gradually for other people. Today, according to your book, I've tried the signature cell healing from first time with all my heart. This is a key. She tried it for the first time. And it created a huge difference that everybody realized he was awakened for hours for the first time. Thanks to God for giving such a treatment to human beings, and then to you to share your knowledge with people, even with the people from Turkey. I wonder how often I should treat him. And then, thank you, Gail, for answering question via email. So this was your goal, right? On why you had to write the book. You cannot reach everybody, but through the books, you can reach the people who are awakened to their Lemurian legacy, because signature cell healing is from Lemuria, right? So at this time, an anniversary of your stroke, this is a testimonial to what you've been doing.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Since the 10 years, you've had progressed, and you're rethinking a new level of signature cell healing, right? And it's always, your guide, Carol, always says healing is a 5 or 50 journey. Right? So.
And that was a nice testimony of this young lady in Turkey. And believe it or not, I get some of this every day in my emails, and I don't have the time to read back, to write back to everybody. But this one really felt good because from Turkey's the chance of me getting to Turkey, it could happen. You never know. But what I really wanted to do right now is get to some healing questions, And do you have any questions, Kelly?
Get Nathan on air.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let's talk to Nathan. That on air, that's good. This is my favorite because this is a guy that.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Sure.
Aloha, Master Healer.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fine. Thank you. Aloha, Patty.
Yeah. So, did you hear that? Did you hear that she just read back to you to the public from the guy the lady from Turkey? Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is how I feel about you. Now I can tell you this: you have the courage to come up and get on this program. And I love this part because for me, it makes my whole day worth it. That somebody would go through the gyrations you had to get through to get here, to get a Gmail account, and blah blah blah. But it's I'll tell you this thing anyway.
When, he loves you very much.
What's your question, buddy?
A few weeks back, maybe a few months back, you were demonstrating a technique of healing a finger where you're drawing the other hand and moving the photons in a certain way across the finger. Can you explain more how that works?
In regards to?
Let me say it again. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, great journey.
Thank you.
Is good for arthritis.
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed to see because he showed me. But understand, Gail, you could probably do this for me because she was working somebody yesterday or today. Today she was working on a doctor in here in this whole journey, and doctors come see us too. You know that, But what I was talking about, arthritic fingers or toes or leg or whatever. I can tell you this: if you get cramp, I don't care how old you are, lad, but I can tell you this thing. So many people are going to be a little old age or my age or whatever, and they get cramps and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. It's ow. That is never going to heal it. I can tell you this: what you can do, for starters, right here for this thing with this doctor she was working with, the Gail's working with this guy, and he's got a finger cramps up really bad because he works the computer, right? She took it 3 times, actually did psychic surgery. Now, don't get caught up in the psychic surgery thing, but psychic surgery is another way we get into the body process. You don't have to cut anything open or anything like that, but she went into the 3 times, and the 3rd time she felt it, and the finger just automatically relaxed. So she just, I don't know what finger it was, but she just got up here as close to the knuckle as she did, and grew it, and she breathed in. Now, if you know somebody that's got arthritis or anything, and anybody can do these things.
But can you do it on yourself?
Well, you can't do it so well on yourself, but you can do it on yourself.
I do it.
That's right, you do. I know you do, and I do it to myself because I have cramped legs. Right? I drink some water and I get down and do the journey. But I can tell you this thing: if you know somebody right now, Nathan, that's got a arthritic situation, don't hesitate to go in there and get right. It's so empowering. And you've got to breathe though. The 5-breath meditation. The 5-breath meditation is like the gift from the God creator. I swear to the goodness, God, I swear to goodness, because I can tell you this 5-breath meditation is a miracle in itself. I I tell everybody I do it one time at night and then 2 or 3 times in the morning because I got to go this whole day, this whole process out. But when you get there, you put with your thumb at the bottom and your 2 fingers in the top. You go right up to the knuckle right here. Now you got to trap the breath. You got to get the breath into your head. So you take your breath down
take it to your chest, right?
Take it down through your head, down your chest, your heart. And then that's the inhale. And exhale. That's all you got to do. 3 or 4 of those. Now, Gail can tell you about the psychic surgeries, but that's a whole different journey. But I can tell you this thing is nothing beyond your comprehensions. You know that.
If you're doing it on yourself, because this is what I do, what happens is that you, for this finger, if I had the pain in this finger, what I do, I bring the breath in, and you bring up the breath to your fingers, and as the breath, that's the particle breath that goes through your left hand is pushing, right? Pushing out. And then this hand, the part through this hand is that it moves it out. You're breathing it. So you have the both 2 actions going, right? Do you understand that, Nathan?
No, y'all doing a great job. So what I'm hearing is also this seems to be along the meridians. If you're moving
Could
energy.
be.
Wow.
Most assuredly the meridians. Now you remember, you're graduate, right, from Signature Cell Healing?
Yes, sir.
Times, right? You remember the meridians? If you don't remember it really clearly, and I can tell you this, that the meridians, when we do this thing called Signature Cell Healing, we ask you to get into the meridians. And when you get down to the meridians, you see the little lights going off, You're down to the fingers or the chest. You see a little light over here, a little light over there. Maybe it's no big deal. Maybe it's something serious. But know this, your 70 trillion cells is going to talk to the healer. I'm the healer, you're the healee. And I can tell you this thing because when you come down to this whole journey and you let it off your fingertips, it goes down to this, and you watch all over the place. That's the coolest part of this whole journey. So yes, it is about what I did in the Signature Cell Healing. It's so important for every healing. But I can tell you, Nathan, I'm going to keep you on here because I love to look at your face. But I can tell you this thing. People have taken literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people have taken the Signature Cell Healing from me. A good percentage of them have never done anything with it because they tried a couple times and didn't do it, and they went back to this other thing over. This thing, I have friends that they use Signature Cell Healing, and then they do their own journey to do this process. But like the moons and the stars, they implement the 2 things. And it's not bad. It's not bad. It's good. But I can tell you this thing: the pure Signature Cell Healer, where you've got nothing else to depend on other than your 70 trillion cells and the body. Your Healy's 70 trillion cells, you can't bank on the moon or the stars or the people from Florida, the touch healing journeys and so on and so forth. What?
Yeah.
Or Reiki or anything. You don't have that right now. You've got your 70 trillion cells, and you go through the things we talked about in that book. I don't know if you got my book, but. If you don't have your book, you don't have the book, wait a couple of days and we're going to have it up on the site. When, Gail? No.
A week or so.
About a week or so. You can get up there and you can buy it over in the internet and have it downloaded to your computer. It's perfect. Anyways.
So what I think Kahu is trying to get to is that you might have use other modalities, but it's better. It's much more powerful if you do the signature cell healing. Just do that. Just do the whole process without mixing any other modalities into it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm not. I don't. I want to say that because I don't. Anybody feel badly, because people are going to. I know they're going to do it, and it makes sense to me that they can do it. But the purity of signature cell healing, it's pure form. It leaves nothing to the imagination. You don't have to figure out what moons are, or what stars are doing, or what Reiki's doing. Blah blah blah. You don't have to do anything. It's a pure form of magnetic forces of the 70 trillion cells. And I don't know if you were in the first part, Nathan, when I was talking to this lady. I was talking on the phone this morning. I told her about the remapping of the brain, right? Which is coming up in January. The new signature cell healing process can be a little tighter. But I can tell you, what I'm saying to you is that when she heard it, she just heard it say remapping of the brain, and her eyes began to water and burn a little bit. And then her brain got lightened up, and she didn't know what she was doing. She said, "What are you doing, Kahu? I can feel it all the way over here. I'm in New York, for God's sake, and you're in Hawaii. I can feel it from that length." But understand this thing. I was talking to her cell process, and that's the magic of long distance healings and all the things we do over here, because that's the key.
Right. So far, so good.
That's really good stuff.
Good stuff.
Anyways, we'll get it back to you probably March or April or somewhere in there. We'll get it out to people that come to this. I'll tell you more.
Anyway, let's get back to Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan, did we answer your question?
Y'all did a splendid job. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Okay, thank you,
God bless you. Thank you,
Nathan.
Nathan.
Okay, next.
A question from Takeli.
Kelly, all right.
So she's saying, aloha and love to you, Kaku and Patty.
Back at you.
The Kryon has been speaking about mining the Akash to remember and receive the gifts that have been learned and developed in other lifetimes. Would you please speak about your perspective on this process? So I replied back to her too and just said that I know last year Master Carol had talked about the Akashic records.
Oh yeah, it's in this system right here, right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the
So-
conscious creators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's saying, she wrote back and said that about connecting, the way Master Carol had said it was about meditating and, getting to the Akashic records. But she's also saying now, she's saying it's that Kryon thing is focused in asking about particular skills and ways of being. So I'm not sure.
Well, I can tell you this. I really love Lee Carroll. I love him out beyond my wilds. But I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about. But if he's talking about getting in there and just, you don't have to meditate anything. And maybe I shouldn't have said you had to meditate, because that scares people away. But I can tell you, you put the 5 breath meditation in this whole process, it'll make it much easier. Anyway, to Kelly, the Akashic records are so mind-blowing. If you get up in there and I think you're getting in there because I know you're getting better and better and better every time we talk. But I can tell you, get up in there and you get in there and you can find stuff that you would never even believe about yourself or about your healing or the healing you're going to do healing on. That would be the most magnificent way. But understand this, I can tell you, this is the journey for all of us. So what Lee's saying and Kryon's saying, you can put in the bank, because Lee Carroll is a beautiful man. I guarantee that.
Well, I feel that the 5 breath meditation, and you increase your feeling of love, And when you reach a certain level of love, the those kind of stuff do open to you, right?
That's right.
So keep on trying.
Thank you to Kelly. All right. Anything else?
Yep, I got a question from Penny May.
Penny May.
She's from United Kingdom.
Here she is.
Okay, so when we draw the energy down through the head, do we go through the whole head to include the pineal gland? Focus our attention through the pineal gland and back of the head, etc. Please. Please.
Please.
Oh, please.
Please. Okay, please.
Question.
I can tell you this thing. When I've got my hand on my head, when I'm doing my morning
The
meditation,
first position,
right here, and I got my hand on my head, and I don't like to come through my hand. Back of the
you're
head.
changing.
What?
Okay, come on, go ahead. Changing
I'm in
again.
trouble already. Nah, that's right. I don't care. I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to tell you, you don't have to come down to the pineal itself. Come down to the whole head. You come right in there, in the brain. You come down to the pineal gland, into your heart. Is that right?
Okay.
Anyways, Penny, I'm telling you this. The major thing I want you to get through is the pineal gland. That the God cell is in the pineal gland. It is right in the back of your head. It looks like a pine cone. But when if you draw it through that process, I bring my straight through into the brain and down to the pineal gland into my heart. From there, it's pumped up back my shoulders, down my arms, into my hands. And that's the key.
Is that what she meant when? And then it, for the first position, it lights up everything, every part of her brain. Is that what she's asking?
Yeah, well, when we draw the energy down through the head, do we go through the whole head to include the pineal gland?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
No question. No shortcuts.
Perfect. That's it for me.
Okay, that's it for you guys. We can go home now?
No, there's many more here.
Okay.
This- Okay, let's go to this court. Okay, what we did is we took a few from a healing request that we got on Sunday, and I thought, hey, I wouldn't mind getting your answers. Okay. Your answer to this, I'm going to put it in there. Okay, this person, and he is from, his name is Richard, and he said, I did what I knew from different sources of healing, massage, Reiki, and then he exercised and supplements and all of that. And he's not improving much. What can you tell him? How can you help this guy?
What's his first name?
Richard.
Richard. Richard, I hope you find a way to get to this program. And we'll have it up on the website pretty soon. And I'll have Gail or somebody email back to you to check it out, because what I'm hearing you say is you've tried everything, Reiki, so on and so forth. Reiki is a beautiful power, and if you're using the right amount of nutrition in your body and so on and so forth. But understand this thing. For $7 or $8 or whatever it's going to be, you should get the Signature Cell Healing book. When we get it up online, you can just load it and get it down and load it, because you do the 5 breath meditation for starters. Just that's all you do, the 5 breath meditation. Now, where was his dilemma? Where was he? Did he say we?
He didn't say.
All right, let's assume it was in.
Oh, back surgery.
Oh, your back surgery. Okay.
She experienced
good.
paralysis after back surgery.
Okay. Whoa, that's bad. That's bad.
He had a
Paralysis.
stroke in 2015.
Wow. Keep going.
I'm sorry.
I've changed it. Well, everything changes when I can tell you. I got to tell you right now, paralysis is a whole different journey. I've had a few people come to me with paralysis, and I've helped some of them. Most of them, actually, I have over half of them. But understand this thing. You don't have to come see me. You don't have to come see me. You can do it by do the 5-breath meditation. When you take this first breath in there, and hopefully you'll get to see this because I'm going to do it all for you right now. So everybody be patient. And you know, if you're in there right now and you haven't got the courage to ask a question, sir, when you're ready to come into this journey right now, you take a deep breath. And you take it in and all the way down into your heart muscle right here, to the pineal gland, to the brain. It comes down to, and you get it locked into your brain, your heart. The next thing you do is you got to lift it up your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands, your head. And this is the first breath. Do it 5 times. 5 times. When you get through that one, you go to the next breath. This is the 5 breaths.
And this lights up your whole brain.
That's right. And the out breath comes when you lock in the breath, take it down your shoulders into your hands, and you let it come into the brain and do this thing. Now, for you, start right here. What's the name? Richard. Start right here. When you get this 5-breath meditation, you take it to the brain, you take it down to the knot in the back of your neck right there, and you run it right through there, all 5 breaths, right straight through your spinal column and to wherever you had the surgery or whatever. You start with that one right there. You do that one 5 times. Now,
was that the second position or the first?
The first position.
Oh, you want them to go down?
For him, I do.
Oh.
I don't want anybody else to do it, but see, she's a purist. The purist.
I'm a purist.
She's a purist. But this man is hurting, and he's not feeling he's getting any help from it. I'd like to help him right now.
All 5 positions.
Well, he's got to do the whole thing, but understand this thing. I'm just saying, I got to stop myself. What I'm telling you can be helped somewhere, somehow. And single cell healing, your 70 trillion cells in your body. I'm talking like I'm talking to you right now. But Gail will get it to you eventually. We'll get it to you so you can do this whole process. And the whole process is about doing the whole 5-breath meditation. The second breath is into the eyes. When you lock in your breath, down your arms, into your hands. Five times, Richard. 5 times you got to do it. And do it just what I'm doing right now. Locked in. There's another part to this too. You take it back to your optic nerve, and you go down to the spine, the vagus nerve, and you see your nerves all alive. It's touching your backbone. You see it going down. And it's so empowering. Maybe we get one of these journeys, the vagus nerve. You can look it up on the internet, vagus nerve, and get it in there, and get one of these little nerve endings to touch that part of your spine, and you'll feel it right there. That's the second breath. 5 times. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? The heart journey. Put it over your heart, like so. Lock your breath. Comes down your shoulders, into your hands, into your heart. And understand this thing. We talked about things called remapping the neurons of the heart, or the head, too. But for right now, 5 times. That's 5, 10, 15. Don't stop there. Go to your stomach. Go to your stomach. Get into there and go to your stomach and
Area.
stomach right there. Take it up into your kidney, your liver, your kidneys, all your
Pancreas.
everything in this process right here, and back to your backbone too. But understand this thing: you got to do all of these things. The last one down is your bottom chakra, and this is, again, it's so empowering. But you got to lock it in. 5 times, and let it stay in that general vicinity, because that's the most important journey for all of us. In the male world, female world, doesn't matter. So when you get to this, Gail, she'll try her best to get your email to you. But when you get out, you go on the site and you get on there. Reason not to do it, because I guarantee this. You said you tried Reiki, you tried da 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 da. I'm talking 70 trillion cells. You've got to touch them, and that's the key.
I think one of the most important thing is, yes, I think this 5 breath meditation makes you committed to your own healing journey. Yes, other people can help us, heal, but then you gotta, what I found is that, yes, my husband is a healer, but I cannot depend on him all the time. It's like you got to always replenish the light inside of you, and because otherwise, and so that's what this 5 breath meditation has done for me. Kahu can do a healing on someone, but if that person doesn't keep the light going, you don't improve, really, unless you keep coming back to him. But it's too expensive.
Thank you.
But you know what he does is that he knows how to lighten the cells. It pays attention to him because of the love that he projects.
If you've listened to this whole program, you go back to this lady I was talking to this morning on the phone, on the internet, and I told her about this thing with the remapping the neurons in the brain, and she got a temperature in her eyes, and her brain got lighter. Now that's just me talking over the phone. And understand this thing. What she just said is the most important thing. If you just do it, if you do it one time, you go, I got nothing. Well, that's what you get. But if you really wanted to do it, and you, my friend, you're in a bad space right now. You're in a bad space.
He's talking to Richard.
That's right, Richard. And understand this, you're in a bad space, but you can get better. Guarantee you can get a little bit better. And if you get a little better, if you do this thing and you get a little better, and you'll be calling me and say, Kahu, I did it, and it's not pure healed, but I tell you what to do. You got to keep going, because this is the magic of signature cell healing. Magi's. Thank you, Richard. Gail?
Okay, this question and comment is from Kahu. I'm not sure who, but anyway, okay, so she's asking, is there such a thing as bringing in too much photon energy? Also, do we receive insights with the photon energy coming in? I ask this because for years I was only too happy to say others were the healers, but realized I was hiding behind others and would not acknowledge my own ability.
Ta-da!
And she's also, saying that she participated in our Sunday program
Oh, God bless her.
and she felt intense heat in her entire abdomen.
That's right.
Did the energy stay with me or was it received? Sometimes she's, she said she used, she started using the 5 breath meditation, and she felt the heat, and the question is why?
Yeah, why? I can tell you this thing, Karen. I appreciate your call. It makes my whole life, not my day, my whole life. When you can feel something because you're breathing, you cannot OD. If you put too much air into it, then lightheaded, but that's not bad. It's just too over breathing. But if you're doing it the way I tend to do it, and you do it right, that's what you say. When you came here Sunday, we did a healing session. I don't know how many people were in there. I don't know. But I can tell you this, that more people come in here and we get this, well, you cannot over OD on photon energy. But what you got to do is what you're using it right now, and you got to use it for your whole body. And don't ever think you're using it too much, something like that, because I guarantee you, if your body wants to heal, it will heal from this process alone. But if it doesn't want to heal, you got to go into your journey. Get in your journey. One person I was talking to a few months ago, I told her, you got to get the whole journey right now. Because if you're doing half the journey, and you're doing something else and doing that's all right. But you got to get to the process right now. I know you want to go, but wait. I'll tell you this thing because it's so important for me to say it to you. When you said you were doing the healing with these people over here, we come up on the stools and I'm healing them, Patty's healing, people coming out of the audience to healing. But understand the thing, when you have that warmness in your belly, all you gotta do is spread it around your body. Take it from your belly and spread it up and down your arms, to your legs, and spread it around, because that's pure photon energy.
I would like to suggest this because the photon forecast every month, and it would be good to pay attention to the photon forecast because it's given on a daily basis. Sometimes it's really high, and sometimes it's low. And like I said, when it's really high and really low, Kahu reacts to it, and we all react to it. But I have one suggestion for all of us, because the center point is at the 5, photon level at the 5. So whenever you breathe in, you make sure, by intent, just say, I'm going to breathe in the photon energy at level 5, and that is love, the number for love. And with that, you should have no worries, right?
So if you know, I don't like low photon, I don't like high photon. I like it in the center.
Yes.
I do. She said
Yes.
but I do this anyway, because at the center is where I draw it to the 5 number.
No, 5.
If it's only 3.5 or 3.75 or or 4, 7 point whatever, I draw right to the very 5 focus, and it's not that easy, but you can do it. But you got to learn to focus your breath.
For those of you that have been doing this 5 breath meditation, it's not easy. it's a simple process, but the commitment level is like, okay, because I keep doing it myself too. I said, I'm lazy tonight, I'm not going to do it, but no, gotta do it. So because it always builds upon itself, and the things that you get from it for your own self. Now, if you're a healer, teach your healee how to do this. It's like, when I like to put it this way, maybe it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, is that when you plant a seed into the dirt and you want it to grow, right? You keep adding water, whenever it needs. And that's what we do. When we do the breathing, the 5 breath meditation, we're in the world, in this 3rd dimension of chaos. But whenever we remember to feed ourselves light, we keep healing every day.
Watering our soul.
Water, is that someone said that? You water your soul, the
She said
emotional body. That's so cool.
Water yourself.
So,
Thank you, Karen. That's a beautiful question and I think a good answer.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for coming in here to do this journey with us on Sunday. I can't tell how much that means. We're really rocked in this. That we had to do this whole process. The first 3 and the second 3, but they were really rocked. So I think that some people in there are coming in and doing this thing, and it magnifies what I'm doing, or what Patty's doing, or Gail's doing. They come right up out of the chairs. They do this whole process, But I tell you, thank you so much from my heart. Keep it going. And find out where you are, and I'm going to come over there and visit you one of these days.
in spirit?
In spirit, of course, in spirit.
Okay. So, yeah, here's another about a stroke. Memory is not good. It says becoming confused. Balance is unstable and wants to improve. But this is so cool. I can relate to this. He said he wants to improve because my wife does not have to worry about caring for me. Wow.
That's what we did. Yeah.
We did this with
Bob, right?
Bob, yeah.
New Zealand.
That's right.
5 breath meditation, Bob. Teach your wife that.
That might be a bad idea, Bob. Might be a bad idea. All right, so we're pretty much wrapped it up here.
Any more questions?
No. We're wrapping it up because I'm tired.
So whatever you're suffering from, breathe. And, it has these 5 breath meditation. Be committed to it, because gifts that you'll give yourself from doing this, you will be surprised. But if you're able to do it, right?
Yes, surely. I can tell you a couple of things. We got one program left of this month, and it's right here. There's a hand.
Okay. God, October went by so fast. Okay. So next week, Wednesday, we have another exciting topic for you guys with Master Guide Kiriel.
I'm going to put a bid. I'm going to put a spur under his saddle. Master Kiriel is not me. It's not me. I swear to God, it's not me. But you don't have to believe that. But trust me, many, many years ago, when the magical journey started with this whole thing, he told me it was going to be a tough journey for me. And he wasn't kidding, because I worked really hard this whole process. But anyway, if you have never met Master Kiriel, well, you've got to be aware when he comes into this journey, he unloads stuff in this thing, and it's an hour plus, an hour and a half or something like that. He unloads things in there, and you keep it all. You be becoming a conscious creator. You keep this whole thing. it's not just about the photon energy and so on and so forth, but I can tell you, he's so empowering. And when he talks about 7 trillion cells, you hear it, you understand it, because he is how to talk to you at your higher levels of consciousness. And I'm working on it myself right now. Every night I go to try to get to the 4th dimension. What's the 4th dimension? I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm getting over there. Oh, Master Kyo started this a couple days ago. He said, I told him I was going to write a book on fiction. He said, good lad, good idea, good deal. Then so yesterday, he said, don't tell him, just tell him it's fiction. Oh, wait, what are you doing? Well, you're going to talk about the Elvins, you're going to talk about the orcs and so on. Well, as well, tell him it's fiction. I'll give you the inside scoop. So, Master Kyo and I are going to write a book, another book. But we'll see what happens.
Yay.
Anyways, that's it for me, kid.
Joining us today. And I think the crust of these programs is about, we join in and say to each other, we affirm to each other that, yes, we can heal. But it's a 5 or 50, healing is a 5 or 50 journey. And then when we know our own love that we share with another, that heals someone else. And that is what Kahu and Master Kyo does. For Kahu, it's like proving that signature cell healing works, right? And it does. And there's always new things that he is testing, and then he brings for you, and you test it and see if it works in your life. That's what these programs are about.
Now, I can tell you this much, and she's the guiltiest party because she loves me very much. She has people come to her and tells the problems, and she says, well, why don't you come see Master Kyo or Master Kahu or whatever. And I appreciate her loving energies. But somebody come in there because she told me to come in, told them to come in here. It's not, if you're contacting this program right now and you're saying the lovely things you're saying, I don't doubt one day I'll heal with you someplace along the line. But I can tell you, absolutely nothing's out of control. Never out of control. There's one over here that we did over here, the guy with the spinal process. Feel his heart. I can feel his heart. If you do the 5 breath meditation, and every chance he gets it to do, not every time, once or twice a day is all you can do it, because you're wearing.
No, twice a day. Yeah. Twice a day. In the morning, your 5 breath is dedicated to your physical and emotional body. At night, it's dedicated. Your 5 breath meditation is for your mental and spiritual body. Not once, twice a day.
God bless you.
So see you next week. And our program will be called The First 7 Healers of Ancient Lemuria. Thank you. Have a beautiful week.
God bless you. And thank you for coming in today. It makes my heart dance. Thank you so much. Aloha.